Want to discuss this guy, Nehemiah Persoff. What a great, great guy he was. He died in 2022 at age 103. He's a character actor who's also a fine painter. I've seen his work. I think you can see some of it online. He appeared in more than 200 TV shows. He was in films. His career spanned 55 years. His first role, he had a bit part in this a wonderful film called The Naked City, 1940. It's this film noir thing. Try to see that. If you haven't seen it, see it. I've seen it. I'm going to have to watch it again because I didn't catch Mr. Pearsoff in that film. But he also did. He played a part of Little Bonaparte, which was a parody of the Rico and Little Caesar in Billy Wilder's film Some Like It Hot. Uh, he appeared in The Comancheros too. He had a big role in that with John Wayne, 1961. Man, I love that film. Have you seen it? The Comancheros, John Wayne. Wow, just a great, great movie. The reason he also appeared in, by the way, The Untouchables, the TV series, 3 episodes as I think various gangsters, and 3 times as Jake Guzik. And he and I discussed that Guzik that he portrayed was written for him by writers who decided the guy on screen would be nothing like the actual Jake Guzik, who was I'm sure he could be mean, but he was also just a fat slob who pimped on the side, and just a horrible human being. But I talked to him about. I wrote a book called On the Waterfront: The Making of a Great American Film, and I called and spoke to him about it. He's the one driving the car in the famous scene where Brando says, "I could have been somebody. I could have been a contender." I'll do more about that scene later on because it's an important scene. But in the film, he looks back in the rearview mirror and he growls almost. And that was because the director walked up to him and said, "Here's your line. You're going to look at this guy in the rearview mirror. He just strangled your mother to death." So he wanted to piss him off. So he was a fantastic person. He told me he was visiting. He was from Israel, and he was visiting Israel, and a war broke out, and they drafted him into the army there because he had been an American vet. But that took about a year out of his career. But he was a lovely, sweet man who afforded me all the time I wanted. We got along so well. We discussed film and painting, and I was happy to introduce some of his work. There was a shop in Bethesda, Maryland, that displayed works by Jewish artists, and I hope they bought some of his painting. But he was kind, he was gentle, he was considerate, and I'm very sorry.